and thanks for your interest. I'm going to explain a completely different way for you to look at your future. If you want to live longer, feel better, and look better, you're in the right place. But first, let me give you a little history lesson. In the last 100 years, Americans are experiencing something never before witnessed in the history of mankind. In the early 19th century, up to about 1914, heart disease was unheard of and documented in only a few rare individuals. Diabetes was found in 1% of the population, and autoimmune disease was extremely rare. Dr. Royal Lee coined the phrase, "Disease is a natural response to an unnatural environment." Today, we are seeing an explosion of the diseases of modern civilization. Mankind has survived for millions of years without chronic diseases that are now decimating our health and vitality today. Our environment has never been more unnatural than it is right now. The chronic diseases of our civilization pose a threat to the very survival of every man, woman, and child on the planet today. At the turn of the century, there was little concern for air pollution because there wasn't any. Our water supplies were pristine and clean. They had no exposure to electromagnetic frequencies, and the amount of chemicals and poisons found in the food were very minimal. Our lives were much simpler then. You worked, you slept, you ate, you had family time. Things were very natural. Now let's fast forward to 2014. 8 to 10% of the population has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Over 8% of people have been diagnosed with diabetes, and another 80 million are said to be pre-diabetic. Today, 1 out of 2 deaths are attributed to heart disease, and 50% of people over the age of 80 suffer from Alzheimer's. For the younger set, 1 out of 68 children have been diagnosed with an autism spectrum disorder. This is a 10-fold increase in the last 40 years. Do you think there might be something going on here? In today's world, most people go to the medical doctor when they are experiencing some sort of abnormal mental or physical symptom. Medical doctors are trained to follow a standard of care for their patients. Part of this standard is a battery of tests, usually blood tests that are covered by your insurance company. Any tests that are outside the box of standard of care are generally ignored as they are not covered by insurance companies and are not part of the accepted medical model of today. Testing and interpretation that is done outside the box of the standard of care is dealt with in an entirely different way. Medical doctors use pharmaceutical drugs as its first line of treatment and has no way to understand or interpret results recommended and provided by another healthcare model like the functional wellness model. They are two different and distinct ways to approach somebody's health or disease process. Certainly the modern medical model has its place, but it is not for the treatment of the chronic metabolic diseases of the modern civilization. Consuming a medication for the treatment of a chronic disease, like diabetes type 2, is not recognizing the cause of the disease in the first place. Treatment without considering the source of the problem could actually lead to more complex problems as the underlying disease continues to progress. This is because the actual cause of the problem was never discovered and dealt with in the first place. Functional medicine is about discovering the environmental factors that are negatively affecting your health and genetic expression, and then eliminating those factors. Then we identify and provide you with the protective factors that encourage healthy genetic expression. We can literally put into your body an environment that turns off the bad genes and turns on the good genes. It's really that simple. Rid your body of the environmental factors that are having a negative impact on your health, and then add the factors that will protect you in the future and you'll have better health. You're probably asking yourself how functional medicine can discover a negative and then the positive effects that are destroying your health or enhancing it. Fortunately, over the last 2 decades of research, science has uncovered testing procedures that can pinpoint and accurately determine the root cause of almost any health difficulty. However, it takes a skilled practitioner that has become the focused health detective to know exactly which test to administer and then how to interpret the results. Then tests to administer are determined by having the patient complete the following information: a comprehensive symptom survey, specific body measurements, a physical and neurological examination, a complete review of the most recent medical records, the most recent lab results, a list of the current medications being taken, and then finally a dietary evaluation. The most common testing done by a functional wellness practitioner could include the following: saliva testing, blood testing, food sensitivity testing, digestion testing, and hair analysis. Saliva testing is one of the most cost-effective and accurate ways to test your stress and sex hormones. Saliva only contains active hormones. Blood tests for hormones have both active and inactive hormones. It is important to see how the hormones are acting in the active state to better measure the function of the gland and how it is being regulated. When you test the blood, it is important to look at the functional range instead of the disease-based range. This gives you a much better understanding of the trends toward disease or health. When you look at blood values from the ideal point of view, you can make changes well before you ever fall into a disease state. Food sensitivity testing allows us to identify foods that you are most reactive to and then remove them from your diet. As long as you keep reacting to those certain foods, you will stay in a constant state of stress and inflammation. This continues the state of dis-ease that you're currently in. Everyone needs to have proper digestive function from the stomach to the colon. Proper digestion will, unless you have proper digestion, you will never fully heal. Different types of digestive testing reveal hidden causes of imbalances that, left unchecked, will never allow you to reach your healthy lifestyle goal potential. Hair analysis allows us to view minerals and their effect at the cellular level. This test is a snapshot of how your body is handling stress right now. The body needs adequate minerals to run its systems, and imbalances will be seen in the hair tissues long before it shows up into the blood. So saliva, blood, digestion, and hair can all give back different sets of values. A functional wellness practitioner knows how to look at those values and give meaning to them and can create an accurate picture of what exactly is going on with you right now. To sum up everything, functional wellness is getting to the root cause of your health imbalances, then getting rid of them and replacing them with things necessary for you to live longer, look better, and feel better. There's nothing wrong with that.